Alright, Guardians, so the first thing you get when you log in is a message from Shin Malphur, the man with the golden gun. Shin Malphur, I should say. There's a letter waiting for you on the cliff top. Same place as before. I've got a gift for you, supposing you want it. So, what that basically means is where we go, where we started before. In the salt mines is where we are going again. So load into the Trossland. Let's climb. So once you land in the Trossland, head to the back of it, and you're going to go into where you'd see the salt mines on the map. Power through this section real quick, and then you kill a few enemies on the way. Once you get to the section where you actually have the teleporter, then go through that. Once you get up to the top of the cliffside, you'll climb this, go past the ship by the shield wall, and then once you go around the outside in the camp, this is where you're going to find the chest. Hey, okay. So, we're going to go ahead and open the chest. System positioning device and a Fateful Gift. Alright, a Fateful Gift. Oh man, that's a lot of text. Well, if you want to skip ahead, timestamps are everywhere, but I'm going to read some of this. Because my voice works again, I may as well use it. You've discovered a letter in the ruined campsite where you found your mangled thorn. The sender purports to be the legendary Shin Malphur, a supposed do-gooder with a complex approach to doing good. He claims he's entrusting you with the original thorn, a hateful weapon capable of permanently killing guardians. The gun is hiding away somewhere, and to find it, you'll have to use the enclosed system positioning device to track it down. Your ghost observes that the signal changes once an hour on the hour, so you'll have to be quick. Identify the location of the original thorn using your system positioning device. Changes every hour on the hour. Now that's interesting. So if this thing changes every hour, I'm not entirely sure how good this video is going to be useful, but we're going to find out, I guess. For my system positioning device, it says it is located somewhere in Shaft 13 in the European Dead Zone. So once you load into the sludge, it's a quick run over here. Just jump on your Sparrow, run in the tunnel, skip over the Cabal, and run inside. Now this one's actually not that far in, so it's pretty easy to get to, and also pretty easy to overlook. But once you come in here, and you see this long hallway with the 2 tires in the crate, turn to your right, and the chest will be right here. Now, before I pick this thing up, there's something I do want to test. It says it changes every hour on the hour. It is 12:59 right now. We're going to wait and see, for 1, if the chest goes away, and 2, if it tells me I've got to go somewhere else. So, joys of editing, we're going to see if this thing moves, and the thing changes, so let's give this waiting a shot. Could take a couple minutes, so I will cut ahead. Alright, Guardians, so we are back in the same place. I reloaded into the sludge, drove back into the Lost Sector in Shaft 13, even though it still shows me in the sludge, which is interesting, actually, but it's right on the way in there. And it was just sitting on this desk. But now, as I have waited the full hour, it says it's on somewhere in Excavation Site 2 on IO. And since my chat helped me out, because I'm just blind as a bat some moments, I was looking for a Lost Sector. It's not a Lost Sector. Excavation Site 2 is over here, so we're going to load into 2 Giant Scar and, I guess, wander around. So here we go. Alright, Guardians, I have no idea how many there are of these, if there's 12 or 24 or how many of these locations, but the system positioning device for me now says Excavation Site 2. So if you pull up your map and you land in Giant Scar, Excavation Site 2 is over here. So we're going to go into the tunnels, and I'll show you guys where the chest is at over here. I'm going to pick it up at this point. If there's a point with another character where I do figure out where all the locations are at, I will try and put a separate video out there, or separate videos. But generally it does seem like if you're just in an area, you're looking for the chest, and it can honestly be anywhere. Like the previous one of the Lost Sector was on one of the paths. So just check all the doors, check all the nooks and crannies. Some are easier than others to find. Something like this, you can probably skip most of the enemies that you're facing, so just run on by. I should have stayed on my Sparrow, but I did not. But yeah, it says you would start in the European Dead Zone, and then this next step after the start of the European Dead Zone is first it was on EDZ, and then it's on IO, so they may have you going all over the place. So just know that you could be going basically anywhere. When you get to this room here, you want to clear all the enemies out, so you don't have anything crazy happen. If you want to pay attention to the quest step next, killed a couple stragglers over here. And we should be good. Oh. Something's red. Oh, guess they're all the ones out there. So, here is the chest. You can notice it looks very, very funky. Alright, let's see what's inside. The Bearer of Evil's Past. And I got a new lore discovered. Alright, so the Bearer of Evil's Past. You are the new owner of Dredgen, yours original thorn. Merely holding the gun makes you nauseous. Not out of moral principles, necessarily, but instead a very physical effect which reminds you of losing your light during the Red War. You don't know what to do with this thing. You have no intention of firing it. If nothing else, you believe you need to neutralize it. Neutralize the thorn's intrinsic darkness with the strength of your light. Orbs of light generated 250. So, time to start generating orbs of light. Alright, Guardians, as you can tell, I am at 245 of 250 orbs of light. Everybody, honestly, you can do this wherever you choose to. There's no preference. If you want to go into Whisper and farm the Shadow Thrall, I think that can work. If you have a different Lost Sector preference, if you want to load into Leviathan and just go to the Castellum and kill enemies over and over, there are a lot of options of ways to do this. I chose to do it in Core Terminus. I know it's a Lost Sector we've used for many different things. It's easy to load into and drive over. You can kill a few enemies on the way. Most of them are pretty low level. And if you've got anything Masterwork, that is what I recommend. I wasn't even using my Super for hardly any of this. Go Figure Masterwork, Recluse that you've got Masterwork, basically just anything you've got. And as you're doing it, just try and space out your kills to where you don't kill like 12 enemies really fast. So if I line up a whole bunch of Thrall, I don't want to go like bzzz and burn them all down. I'll do like 1, 2, 3, 4 and get them piece by piece. So each pairing actually will drop an orb. So kind of like this, little spacing between each one. And remember, the other option is you don't have to load back in every time. You can actually just run out of this Lost Sector, which I know is another reason why some people will use it. That's a whole lot of crap that just dropped. Oh, man. So, alright, so that is everything that just dropped. I've got to go to the Postmaster, and we'll see what the hell just happened, and we'll be back. Alright, Guardians, we are back in the tower, and we've got a couple things. So, this went to my Postmaster, so make sure you got a little space in your primaries for Rose, which is cool. So this actually exists. But it is a very, very, very basic hand cannon. You can fire stuff with it, but there are no perks. Technically, you can infuse it too, which some of mine are trash rolls, but this apparently is slowly going to get leveled up by unlocking perks. So what we've got up here is Rose Revealed. The searing power of your light burns away the sickness that consumed Dredgen Yor's Thorn, revealing the weapon that it used to be, Rose. You contemplate the weapon for a long time before resolving on a course of action. If Thorn symbolizes twisted intention and malice unchecked, then you will make a gun that symbolizes something greater. The courage to choose the right path, even when it is unpopular and unsafe. But to that, you'll need to begin your second adventure in gunsmithing. Restore Rose's perks to prepare the gun for its future transformation. So first you have to restore perks by doing the other 3 quests that popped up all at the same time. So we've got Band Together, complete a Nightfall strike with a score of 50k. So I will work on getting a video up of a Nightfall. I'm probably about to go record that one right now. So that one will be on the channel. So I'll try and pick the easiest strike this week. So if that helps you all out. Face the Hordes, complete encounters at the Blind Well, Black Armory Forges, and an Escalation Protocol. Now, I'm going to have to go test and see, so I probably will come back with a few tips after this to understand if Black Armory is like Wave 1 and Wave 2 of the encounter, or if it's a full Forge run and killing the boss. Is Escalation Protocol a wave of Escalation Protocol, or is it all the way through Wave 7? Is the Blind Well just like actually finishing killing like the 3, 2, or 1 bosses at the end? Or is it going to be like each wave? These things all seem to have like segments to them, so I'm wondering if it's going to be broken into pieces for me. So, that I don't know. I will put tips here at the end after this. And then Defend the Light, defeat multiple enemy combatants in a row without reloading your weapon. So it's really just about streaks. So if you've got a Titan, Rally Barricade, I don't know if like that will count as reloading. If Lunafaction Boots on a Well is going to count as reloading. That stuff will help, but just trying to get streaks. And again, where we just got orbs, if you can kill multiple enemies in a row with a decent sized clip, that will help you as well. So those are your 3 pursuits to restore the perks to the weapon. We're going to work on those. Nightfall's where I'm going to start first. So if you guys want to check the channel, that should be up there. I'll put a link right in the top right now once I get that video up. And then other than that, this one is going to be the grind and a half. So I'm going to see how this all works, and tips will probably come here just after this piece of the video. So see you in a bit. Alright, Guardians, the long grind is definitely going to be this one called Face the Hordes. I'm going to have the video up for the Nightfall, you know about that one, but this one seems to be the longest. The one where you need like the 200 multi-kills or kills without reloading. It seemed to happen while I did the Nightfall by myself, so if you're working on these encounters, that one's just naturally going to happen. Nightfall at 50k, really not too bad. Look for that video, I've got that one up. And then Face the Hordes. So your options are Black Armory Forges, Escalation Protocol, and Blindwell. My advice, honestly, is going to be Blindwell, because if you do Tier 3 and then you do the Heroic boss as well after that, if somebody prompts that one off, it's worth 7 of 35 for that full cycle, and that's probably the fastest one you'll work through. Forges are worth 4, because you got 2 rounds, and then the boss seems worth 2. Escalation Protocol, each wave seems to be worth 1, which seems to probably actually be the slowest. So my advice, honestly, is Blindwell. Do Tier 3, activate the Heroic boss every time. This week isn't the most fun, it's the 2 guys. You just got to kill the Screebs under their feet to break their shield and then kill them, so not too bad. But 5 full run-throughs of Heroic Blindwell and you will be done. But I tested them all, and this is my advice. After this is done, we'll see what happens next, which I'm sure is using the gun for a while. So we'll come back and I'll see what's next. Alright, Guardians, so next piece after you finish your encounters, the multi-kills, and of course, the Nightfall. The encounters does take the longest, but we're at Fireteam Leader. Your project is going well. The gun is more than mechanically sound. It is synergized with your light, but unlike your quest to restore your thorn, there are no mentors here. This is you, forging a new path, following your intuition in search of a strong symbol of hope. If there's one thing you've learned since the Red Legion invaded, it's that single Guardians fall alone. Fire teams of like-minded individuals persevere. Complete activities throughout the solar system with Rose equipped. Fighting in a fire team with other Rose wielders grants most efficient progress. So now, use the Thorn in everything you do. From what I've gathered, checking Twitter and stuff real quick, Menagerie is a really good thing to do. If people are doing that right now, it's probably a really good thing, because most people who are going to be doing Season of Opulence in this quest probably have Menagerie at this point. It's match made. There's 6 people in there, so it's a lot. I think Strike, somebody said, is like 12%. PvP may be a little bugged or funky right now because you never know who is running what. But Menagerie, somebody said, is almost like 35% if it's like a full team. So I would either try Strikes, depending on what's going on, or Menagerie because it's match made. So I'm going to go into Menagerie and see what happens in there. If it's a big chunk, I will let you know. Alright, so the Fireteam Leader quest, couple recommendations on this one. If you have a bigger group, like you've got a raid or you've got a clan, if you all 6 equip the Thorn, or I'm sorry, if all 6 of you equip a Rose, and you go do regular Menagerie works, you don't have to do Heroic, but if all 6 of you do Menagerie with that, and you run, Recluse or whatever else you want, just, you can use that for minor shooting, but if you finish that one, I've heard you can get 35% of all 6 of you are using it. I've had random progress. I got like 20% or 15 or 25, somewhere in the middle, because some were equipping it, some weren't. So it's kind of hit or miss in there. And the sooner you do this from when it launches, the sooner you'll probably see more people using Rose. The other option, and that's actually probably what I would recommend for consistency, most people aren't going to come into the strike down here, Lake of Shadows, for no reason. So, and if you have a fire team of 2 other people, you can grind this out fairly quickly. So if you do regular Lake of Shadows as a strike with 2 other people who have Rose equipped, you get 12% per run. And if you speedrun this thing, which is basically kill the Blight, go to the next Blight, kill it, go to the next Blight, kill it, kill the bosses, jump down the steps, kill the captain at the bottom, run through the entire outside section, kill the knight at the end, sprint in, pass all the enemies, kill the wizard, go to the boss and kill it. If you do all that, I've done it in about 5 minutes before with random people who are doing the same thing. So you can finish the strike ultra quick and you get 12% per run doing that. So if you can't find 6 people, or if you're not having the best of luck with Menagerie, then Lake of Shadows can be a really good place for you. So I'm going to go finish mine up and we will see what the next step of this is. Maybe it's the last one. Hopefully, I actually haven't checked, but we will see what lies after this one. But yeah, strikes or Menagerie. And specifically, I would probably do Lake of Shadows normal and just speedrun that sucker. It's really quick. So we'll see what's next after I finish these last 3%. So good luck on your grind, and we'll see what's next. So the next step is strength in numbers. Your philosophy about this gun has crystallized. If Thorn was a weapon of selfishness, then the gun you make will be one of selflessness. If it's a coordinated fire team that saved the city from Gaul, then the gun you make will support fire teams. The light is about standing united in service of a hopeful future. Defeat guardians with hand cannons as a team. Generate orbs of light for fellow guardians. And defeat invaders in Gambit before they have killed any of your teammates. Alright, so a little knowledge after doing a couple of these. The orbs generated, I honestly went back to where I just did before. I went back to the core terminus strike, use a masterwork weapon, like Recluse or Hammerhead or whatever you got that is masterworked, and just kill the enemies spaced apart enough. I did that twice and I was basically done. Kill a couple enemies outside of the way and you for sure seem to be done. If you want to get them in Escalation Protocol or wherever you want, but orbs anywhere work. It doesn't have to be in a fire team. You can be by yourself. As for Crucible, final blows count by you for 4% and by allies and kind of assists as 1%. If you go into quick play, you'll probably get it done. I actually went into Rumble and had some decent luck in there, so I got 68% done in one Rumble match. I actually kind of I had a good run in there, so that's why. But basically 4%, you need 100 kills. So, or you need 4%, you need 25 kills by yourself, or you need to add some assists on top. Either way you get around to it, it's not too bad. Final piece that I'm going to go work on now, so just I wanted to say this now before the quest is done. Defeat invaders in Gambit before they have killed any of your teammates. If all of that reads correctly, basically your best bet is going to be build up a super, save it, wait for the invasion on the other side, so be watching the teammates, your opposing team's bar. If they go over that threshold, or they have the moats to go over that threshold, as soon as you see it done, get to a point like out away from like the center. Go to one of the locations where they could be spawning. Be ready with your super. Hunters, of course, Golden Gun is a really quick shutdown. Hammers that I've used before, also good for range, but not quite as good to counter something like Golden Gun. For Warlock, something like Nova Bomb can be good, kind of hard to counter. Chaos Reach actually might be good for Warlocks as well, because it's more of a ranged piece. So you want something you can go quick. If you've got heavy ammo, something like Hammerhead we know is lethal. Something big and powerful. Truth in this instance probably would be really, really good. So those are all the options I would say. I'm going to go see if I can knock this out, and we'll see what any other steps of this could be. So maybe this is it. I'm not entirely sure. Alright, Guardians, on your Gambit invasion, this is just kind of a public service announcement. If you're on this step of the quest, and you invade for a little while in the world of Gambit, just because it happened and somebody was very kind to me, they invaded and they sat still. It's nice. Let people work on that farm and get it rolling. So it's a nice way to just invade, do an emote, dance, something just kind of chill, sit down, and make somebody get a kill on you pretty easily, because right now a lot of people are grinding this thing out. If you do it for somebody else, they may do it for you, just kind of a little back and forth, vice versa. So you never know if that'll actually work, but we are on the final step now. After that, you feel ready to complete your project, and you have a suitably poetic scheme to do it. You plan to reclaim lost light from the hive. Using the strength of your own abilities, you redirect it into the gun, and with any luck, it will bloom into something greater. Enter Strike Will of the Thousands with Rose equipped to reclaim light from hive crystals and defeat Zal. Objectives must be completed in a single run through the activity. Progress is not saved across multiple attempts. So light reclaimed, it's going to take 11 crystals, I'm guessing. There are a lot of them in this thing, so there are 3 people. There's probably enough for all, so make sure you kind of share. If you get yours, don't shoot anymore. So I'm going to go run this strike. Maybe take a little bit of the footage of the ones that I see around. There's a couple rooms to look for, so I'll try and point some out. If you really need to go in there, you can just look at like all of them. So here we go into Will of the Thousands. Let's cue this thing up on Mars and see if we can wrap this thing up with a nice tight little bow. Alright, Guardians, so you need to do 2 things for the final piece of this quest. One of them is to kill Zal, the other is to break 11 of these crystals, and there's a lot of them. And even the 2 other people who started the strike with me, when they shoot the crystals, they don't take them away from you. So if you just look around, there's like, I swear, 40 of them in here, and you only need to get 11. Even in this opening section of the strike right here, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them already here in this section. You only need 3 more. So there's a lot throughout the strike. So I've actually got Lumina now, so I went back here to get some footage. But as you can see, only Lumina and Rose can actually break these crystals. Usually it takes about 2 shots or 3, depending on your range from where you're at. each one that breaks is all you need to do. So, pretty straightforward. And then all you have to do is beat the boss in the end. You just have to break the crystals and beat the boss in one run. So you can't break the crystals and then have to go or something and then come back and then get to the boss. You have to break the crystals and kill the boss in the same run. So, hopefully this helps you guys out for just a quick look at the crystals. They're in multiple rooms throughout. Most of the outdoor sections is where you're going to see them. Zal has a few around his pillars. A couple of the other outdoor sections as well. The interior with the big ogre. So look for the crystals. You only need 11. So let's wrap this thing up. So once you finish up Zal and you've shot at least 11 of those throughout the strike, you will be done. Took a little while for my gun to appear, but as you're holding Rose, it'll kind of go through the end text, kind of wait for the chest to appear, and then mine was even a little delayed after the chest. I was checking my inventory to see, like, hey, is it coming? Is this happening? Is there anything else I need to do for the pursuit? And then it changed. So you'll notice I'll go into my inventory, check my pursuits, and then as I'm doing that, it actually pops up right here. And you guys will see everything pop. Got a couple runes as well. And instantly what was in my hand from Rose turned into Lumina. So that is how you get the gun. Hopefully this is helpful for everybody. If you did enjoy the video, drop a like below, leave a comment if you got questions or anything like that. I will be going to Guardian Con, so hopefully this will give you guys something to watch while I'm gone. But hopefully this is comprehensive enough for you guys to enjoy. But the Lumina, it is active and in the inventory, so I'm going to probably use that a little bit when I get back. Haven't done a full review of an exotic in a while, so might do that one for you guys, but it looks really cool. It's definitely a good support weapon. You can get some nice buffs with it and some cool PvP perks as well. So not a bad little run through here. Blessing in the Sky is pretty cool. And overall, it's just a decent 150 hand cannon. Not the best, but the support perk can work very well. So enjoy. You guys can find me on Twitch and Twitter, right here on YouTube. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so. It definitely helps me out. Hit the alert bell as well. That'll keep the videos in your feed. If you are in Guardian Con, look me up on Twitter. It is at Ebontis. I'll be wearing my shirt. If you see me, come say hi. Have an awesome one. I'll see you soon, and enjoy your weekend. Have a good 4th of July. If you're doing anything fun, have a good one, and I will see you guys when I get back on Tuesday.